Podcast land. Welcome to Beer League in the Get Off My Lawn studios, and we have a very cool episode today. We have some call-ins here, and actually video call-ins. But first things first, Greg, how was your week? How was your Thanksgiving, bud?
It was fantastic, man.
Yeah.
We didn't travel. We just stayed here. We just chilled out, watched football with mixed results. But it was nice to just hang out and not have to do anything crazy. Of course, we fed the beast. We had a skating lesson. We did one of the guys, Noah. You remember Noah? He works with me, and so he went out on the ice and worked on some stuff, sort of a private lesson there. So I made sure that I laid it down on the altar of youth sports, but then we got to chill out, man. What about you?
Oh, boy. Well, I went to Florida. I hung out on the beach for a while. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any good, I didn't feed any beast except me. I was the only one that got fed because I was eating a lot of turkey, that's for sure. We had a little Thanksgiving down in Florida with my in-laws, and then we decided to come back to New York. I come back to Nashville.
Yeah, well, don't rub it in our face, man.
Sorry. Was my mic out a little bit? What's
good.
going on?
You're good.
Tell me if my mic's off here. But all right. Anyway, so let's get back to who we have here on the show today. We have really two really special guests here. I'm going to premise this here and start this off by. We were looking through here, and we saw an article on what was going on in Dallas, Texas. About the youth hockey program, and we seen this article come out and read it, and we're like, wow, this is sounding eerily familiar with us. It's very eerily familiar. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go try to reach out to this person on Facebook, and I just shot in the dark, and then she got back to me. So we like to say hello to two special guests here. Lisa Bry from Dallas. Say hello, Lisa. Claps. Got the claps.
Hey, everybody.
And she has her counterpart, Kat Pierce. More claps. Keep that claps going. There we go. Both are from Dallas. Both are from the Dallas area. And they're both in the hockey world, the youth hockey world. Hey, guys, do you understand that on one of our podcasts, we always talk about this, that youth sports is worth $40 billion? 40. Not 20, not 30.
It's crazy, right?
It's silly. And we just keep feeding the beast, don't we?
We all drink the Kool-Aid because we want our kids to play.
Exactly. So I want to say thank you guys for coming on the show and calling in and doing a video chat here with us. It's kind of cool here, Kat. I know you're going to the rink. They're getting ready to start getting. You can't keep yourself out of it, that's for sure. And I know Lisa's home right now hanging out. So let me say what I like to start off first thing. Again, like I said, thank you guys so much for everything. We'd like to start you guys off. So, Lisa, you started off. Tell us about yourself and how you got involved in this hockey world, and tell us your path in this.
Oh, Lord. So I started dating a hockey player.
That was your first
And
mistake.
my son got into hockey, right?
That's it.
And a goalie at that.
Oh, boy. Well,
But it was an expensive way for my son and his soon-to-be stepdad to bond.
very cool.
Honestly, my husband coached house league here. Son was a player and then transitioned into a goalie.
How did that make you
started.
feel as a mom? I know, especially, I tried to get my son to be a goalie because I'm a goalie. I tried to get my son as a goalie. He played a couple seasons, and I was like a little stressed out all the time. I know my wife couldn't take it. She's like, he stinks. I can't let him do this. I'm like, he'll be fine. He's just fine. And it's his fault. He lost the game. I'm like, who cares? He's having fun, I think. But the stress level, just for those 2 seasons that my son played goal, or 1 season, I was like,
Yeah.
I think, it's probably a raging alcoholic, I got to be honest with you. Half the times if I'm thinking about my stress level. Stress level enough, my kid's a defenseman, but now as a goalie, that's all the stress on you. How do you deal with that?
As a mom, it's pretty easy. As long as he's having fun,
Oh, all right.
doesn't really matter.
Does he come back and go, Mom, I stunk, and break his stick? And you're like, I'm not paying for another
No.
stick.
I mean, early on, we had those kind of moments, but I was very clear. If you're going to bang your equipment that we buy, you won't play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think also being a goalie, it's a completely different mindset. The mental side of the game is completely different. And I live in a house full of goalies.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Your
Full goalie house.
your husband's a goal. Does he
Yeah.
take him? Does he shoot pucks at him too? Like outside? Like, come on, let's go
Not
outside.
anymore.
Okay.
They used to when he was younger, but my husband didn't have the best goalie coach experience. And
Okay.
it's one of those things where he always says, like, I can help you, but I don't want to be your coach.
It
When
is
he was
tough.
learning how to play, that was different.
Yeah.
So,
When you get down to the, when they get a little bit older, and like as beer league, we've talked about this. I was a coach of baseball.
yeah.
If my son played goalie, I can teach him how to play goalie, but it's the hardest thing to do is to teach and coach your son past a certain age, because you'll end up strangling him. And then they just say, no, you're making fun of me, or you're picking on me, and you go, no, I'm not. I'm just trying to help, man. But it is
Early
taxing.
on, we made a rule that unless our son wanted to talk about a game, we didn't talk about it on the way home,
Correct.
especially if it was a really bad game. So if my husband had feedback or anything that he wanted to say about the team, we set it behind closed doors away from our kid.
Smart. Very smart. Hey,
It made it easier. I mean,
there's a book, and I guess you guys may not, and it may ever heard of it. We have a book here that we always did, and I always told my parents about it. It's called the Matheny Manifesto. It's always the best thing. It's always a great book for as a parent, as a coach, and as a coach's, as a parent, as a coach. It is a great book. I mean, read it for your own pleasure and everything, and you'll be like, oh wow, that's right. You never talk about it. You never talk about hockey. You never talk about any sport when you drive home. You look at them and go, you hungry? Let's go get an ice cream or something. And like you just said it yourself, let them tell you. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's stressful, though.
unless
Hats
there
off
was a
to you.
shutout,
Oh, yeah.
then the car ride home was very vocal, and we had to hear the play-by-play of every save on our way to go get a huge, giant chocolate milkshake.
There you go.
So,
That's awesome. That's great. So, all right. And so you have, you were saying earlier, too, your son plays goalie. You have daughters, too, that play other sports, too. Because, again, this is not all about hockey with youth sports. It's other sports, too, that we keep feeding the beast here. So what other sports do they play?
my daughters are both lacrosse goalies.
Oh wow.
My oldest daughter actually did learn to play for hockey and then transitioned into being a lacrosse goalie because Allen girls team for high school needed a goalie.
Awesome.
And so we were like, just do it until your sister is there. And then we moved.
Well, it's lacrosse is hockey,
And so they
hockey
just
with
say-
not on ice. Pretty much it is.
Yeah, I think that's why my daughters were picking it up so easily.
Awesome.
They watched so much hockey that it was easy for them to transition.
That'd stress you out too. Then when they play goalie too, and that too, I'm sure.
It was more stressful watching my daughter play
Okay.
than my son.
Okay. All right. So and then
I mean, if you've ever looked at what girls wear,
oh, I know.
there's barely any protective wear.
I know. Well, unless you play box lacrosse, they're just bundled up
Yeah.
like with a big mattress. You ever see these guys dressed up as a mattress? None's gonna get by them.
Well, I mean, my daughter was in seventh or eighth grade.
Okay.
She was at a practice with her travel team, and this girl just ripped a shot, probably 60, 70 miles an hour, and cracked her helmet.
Oh, and those
And so that
lacrosse
was where we
balls,
were like, wait a minute.
they're hard. Those
So, yeah.
lacrosse balls. I mean, not as hard as a puck, but almost. It pretty is. It is, but it's a round thing and it comes right at you. So I mean, it's. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's pretty wicked, that's for sure. I know a couple buddies of mine.
So that's kind of how we got into it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, hey, listen, you got a sports family right there. You got a sports family, and that's for sure. That's you guys all sit around watch hockey together. I know earlier you said to me you're a LA Kings fan, huh?
Go Kings, go.
How did that happen?
So I'm from San Diego originally, which
Okay.
used to be a Ducks fan way back in the day.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
I remember when the Ducks used to practice where we lived out in San Diego.
Okay.
But my husband is from LA, and so we became a Kings family.
Okay. Very cool.
But I mean, there's other teams I like. I like watching the Knights. It's always fun to watch,
How about the Rangers? Are you a Ranger fan now because Quick's over there?
No comment.
Ah, come on, that's terrible. All right. That's
What about you, Kat?
It was really hard.
What's your story, Kat? How did you get into the hockey world?
So mine is interesting. I'm from Austin originally, and we don't have any professional sports there, obviously. So it's all Longhorns.
Okay.
And I moved to Dallas when I was about 15 years old or so. And I started going to Plano High School. And the first friends I made were hockey players. And I'm like, hockey? In Texas? What? So Plano was one of the original 4 clubs here. And so early on, but they kind of showed me, and then my stepdad was new to the family, but a diehard Stars fan. So it kind of just snowballed from there.
Very cool. So now you said you have children to play hockey now too, obviously.
Yes, so I have a 16-year-old son who plays. He started around 6 years old.
Okay.
Well, we put him on about 3, and he was not ready.
Yep.
It was snow angels on the ice, getting drug around by the stick, all the things. I just did not love it. And then we started going to games around that time, had company seats, and he was 6, and he said, I think I want to do the little rookies again.
Cool.
Famous last words, and then I pour forever.
You got hooked. There you go. Keep feeding the beast on that. So you have any?
Yeah.
So it was funny. He got on his 6th time on the ice or so, a little public skate we went on. And he turned to me and he said, Mom, I'm just going to get better and better until I'm the best.
That's cool.
And that was that.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I'm also a billet mom.
Oh
So
wow.
I have kids who come here to train from Canada, Rhode Island, Michigan. So we always have extra teenagers in the house.
Oh, that's interesting perspective to see how the different players are from different areas.
Yeah. And so you were a fan when they went to the Stanley Cup and won it in '99 then, right?
I was not. That's pre my time. I'm kind of a baby.
Okay. All right. All right. So all right. But so that's I do remember the '99 with the Brett Hull goal and everything. So I do remember that. I have a couple friends of mine who are Sabres fans.
Controversy.
Yeah, they're Sabres fans. They still hate it. I bring it up. They want to fight me. I'm like, what do you mean? He wasn't in the crease, I think.
I think. Good job.
No comment.
There you go. No comment, right? Exactly.
We moved here in 2002, so it was all still pretty fresh.
Okay, so 2002 you were there then. Okay, yeah, so the hype was still going there basically in Dallas with the team going, the Stars.
Well, they moved in 93, right? They came to
93.
Dallas in 93.
Yep, 93, 94 season. Guess who won the Stanley Cup that year, guys? I just want to say to you. 94.
The Islanders?
No, watch your mouth. Right over there.
I was
There
like,
he is.
the Wings?
There's a picture. I don't know if you think you can see. He's got to show you. Right there. Good old Marc Messier on the wall, holding the cup. 1994.
Yeah,
Best year
we
of my life.
we know.
That's it. Sorry, guys. Had to
All right, enough of this fandom. Let's get to the main event here. So you guys got bit by the hockey bug and went through it, and it's unlike any other sport, I think, when your kids are playing, because it's just so exciting, you know. I mean, and try to play baseball. No offense, baseball's great,
no
but
offense
it's a little
taken.
bit slower pace than hockey.
My wife says the same thing, too. She'd rather watch it
Agreed.
than hockey. So.
And so it's hard. If you played baseball first, then maybe you can keep doing it. We played hockey predominantly, and so it just it gets you sucked in, and it's a very involved sport because you got to learn how to skate, and then you got to go through the minor times, and then you get up to where they're eventually hitting, and it's quite a journey. But Lisa, I think you decided to get real into it and became president of a club, or you rose to prominence in the Frisco area.
I guess if that's the way you want to put it. And my son started playing high school hockey in 7th grade, played for the Lovejoy team, and then we moved. So then he started playing for Frisco. My best friend happened to be on the Frisco board, and she said, hey, the team that Aiden made needs a team manager. It's just a weekly email.
Oh, yeah, we've heard that
Right.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
The actual training that I did when I trained TMs, it was called It's Not a Weekly Email.
Yeah. There's a lot
But
that
then
goes
the
on.
following year, oddly, Mike Hogan actually called me and said, hey, my wife doesn't want to be on the board anymore. Her position, I think, would be great for you. You've done a really great job this year as TM, director of operations, would be right up your alley with organization stuff. I said, I don't know, let me think about it. So I called my best friend who was on the board and I said, what's the director of operations do? And that was all she wrote. So I did that for 2 years. And then everybody was resigning from the board because their kids were done. And Mike Hogan looked at me and said, so it's just going to be you and I. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to stick around. And he said, well, we need you to be president. I said, let me talk to my kid. And Aiden just said, do it. And so
your son was good with it,
Yeah.
huh? He was like, Mom, I don't want you for, I don't want you anyway. Just
no,
let me
I
go.
mean, actually what his words were, especially after the takeover stuff happened, it was, Frisco kids are going to need you. I really prided myself on knowing 120 kids in our organization. You know, when they came in the rink, some of those kids, maybe that's the only time that adults said, hi, how's your day? And I wanted to be that adult.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
2
really, really
weeks
cool.
into being president.
Well, how did
I got hit.
How did your path and Kat's path come together? How did that happen?
So after the July 2023 meeting with the league takeover happened, I think Kat messaged me first because I had started posting in the group telling people basically the information they're giving is inaccurate.
So just for the
Stop
listeners
talking about it until we
here,
know.
you guys have a giant hockey parent Facebook group, and I don't know, was it
Yeah.
4,000,
Kat
7,000?
started it.
A huge community that, I don't think we have
Yeah, I think
anything
it's up
like
to
that
like over
here.
5,000 now, Kat.
I think I'm part of that
Probably.
5,000 now. I'm in that.
Yeah.
So, hey to the Texas hockey parents,
Hockey
is that what
parents,
it's
how
called?
you doing?
Yes, THP.
Yeah, and that's
See?
a huge
Sporting team for you.
board. Yeah, I can't believe you're wearing that.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I don't condone that, but okay.
It is a Dallas episode, so we're going with
right,
it. Here we
all
go.
right.
I was gonna
Well,
have
and so the Kat and I thing is really interesting. So my husband and I, without thinking, we just wanted a weekend away from the kids, and we did a staycation. We stayed at the Sandman, which is owned by the owner of the Stars.
Oh boy.
And Kat and I had been talking, and we had never met face to face. And I said, well, my husband and I are staying at a hotel. If you want to come meet us, you can. I didn't mind if we met down in the lobby. And she was like, well, it's the Sandman. And so she ended up never had met my husband or I, came up to our hotel room. We hung out for 3 hours?
Yeah, it was all very cloak and dagger.
It was, yeah.
We were like in the shadows. My husband's like, I don't want to leave you with this weird couple.
Yeah. Well, and my husband was like, if you need me to leave, then I'll leave. And Kat was like, no, we're good.
My husband can be very intimidating, like up front. He's just like a big, and
Ryan's a big teddy bear, though.
he is. And so, it's funny because he sat down in the car for probably what he thought was going to be 30 minutes to an hour. And Lisa and I have like a Venn diagram. Have you ever seen that Charlie Day video the thing with all
Oh,
Oh.
strings
Yep.
Yeah.
after mapping it all out.
a lot of notes to compare.
Yeah.
So that was so you met
Yeah.
because of the
The high school takeover.
High school team.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you have this big community, but take us back because if people don't know at this point, there was a big USA Today article, and the first one was in March, and it was sort of an expose on some issues with a state of play type thing, and that's got its
Yeah.
own story. But
And the Dallas Stars executives.
yeah, and there was some allegations of maybe some money going where it shouldn't. But what really jumped out at us, because we're here in Nashville and we've got this sort of similar situation where we have an NHL team that's taking over sort of almost all the rinks, and I don't think they control every rink in Dallas, but it's a vast majority. Sort of similar here, and so the Stars started off in '93, and they acquired more rinks over the years. And I think if you haven't read this article, it's a long article, but it's very good. But one of the things I like is the map that kind of shows what happened in Dallas over I guess it took about almost 3 decades, really.
Yes,
So 93
93
to 23. And so in that time, there was no hockey down in Texas. It was sort of a novelty, but it grew. And to Dallas's credits, and I think what they will say is, we grew the game. We grew the game. Everything's bigger in Texas, I'm told. And so it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And as they gained more market share, things started to change at a certain point. And there were people that were involved in the different USA hockey boards that were from the Stars. And there were a little bit more market power because they owned 8 out of the 11 rinks,
Everything.
I think. And so
Yeah.
then they started to exert themselves in ways that maybe weren't expected or weren't necessarily consistent with growing the game for everyone. And so I think for your story, and for people that don't know, Kat and Lisa have a podcast called Offsides and Unfiltered, and they go into very granular detail about all this and what happened. But the real genesis of this was the article in August, and that came out and talked about some of the problems that they're having. And it's, again, a long article. But from our perspective, I think what's really interesting is the high school piece of it, and how the Stars kind of assumed control of the high school league. So kind of set the table for us, like what happened when this was back in 2023.
Oh, gosh.
And there is how many Texas high school teams are there in this league? There must be a ton.
Well, I want to just jump on the back of what you said there too, because I've always said this over the years in my life, and saying, hey, I think Dallas did the right thing in the beginning. They put grassroots into it. They went out and did it right. They went in and built rinks in cities and Euless and all these other places, and they smacked the star symbol out there. They had the players come out, shake hands, kiss babies, and they gave them to the high schools. So the high schools had these rinks, and every basically town had the high school rink, and I'm like, they did it right. The grassroots. To me, I always said it, but unfortunately, I think that steamrolled, and you couldn't stop the steamroll. And now you guys take over right now of that. That's what I always thought too, and what Greg was saying. Fill us in even more. So,
Well, the Stars don't own all the rinks.
okay.
They rent a majority of them. I don't remember the numbers, Kat. I don't know if you know off the top of your head.
I think they own 4
Yeah.
or 5.
And then they rent
But
all the
you know
rest.
what? Still, even if the cities own the property, the Stars control it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the rink that my team practiced out of was Comerica Center in Frisco.
Okay.
And so for us, we had a public-private partnership. So between the city and the Stars.
And that's
So
what we
they
have
got
up
into a
here.
little bit of hot water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So they might not
I
own
think
all
the biggest
rinks.
thing is making sure that the Stars or whoever's running and owning the rink kind of are keeping track of what the other is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Frisco didn't do that. Frisco just went with whatever the Stars told them they were doing.
Well, in the same way too, did the Stars basically say, "Hey, we know how to run hockey rinks. You guys have no idea what you're doing, so just sit back. We'll run everything and we'll rent it." Is that technically what they did out there?
Kind of, but no, I mean, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Kat, go ahead.
So when they realized they held the majority of power, they were able to do things like take coaches and say, to do lessons anymore. You can't have access to our. So they slowly cut doors for any independent rink.
Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit here. Say that again.
Oh.
You're on the road. You're on the run. So we just want to make sure we get all this.
I'm finally at the rink, but anyone who lives in Dallas will tell you the rink Wi-Fi is probably worse than any.
It's so bad.
Spot or it's absolutely terrible. But they essentially contracted coaches. So if you're doing lessons at a non-stars rink, we're not going to give you access to our ice.
Yeah.
We're going to mess with your income. We're going to control the travel league, the house league, the rookies. Their last partnership is Allen. And I want to say they severed that around 2014, 2015. And that was the
before I
last
moved here.
On Stars Ring. So from there, it was just kind of controlled as I controlled these prices.
And they controlled the coaches. So they just kind of entered into contracts with all the coaches?
Kind of, because they're like the coaches have private contracts, but they don't really have a contract to be able to go do private lessons. It was essentially, if you're going to do private lessons in our rinks, then you can't do them in non-stars rinks.
Okay.
What is the coach going to do?
They just stopped that practice this year.
Yeah.
So Allen coaches we've known for years are just now getting access to the Stars ice.
Yeah. So back in the day, there also used to be a small rink in McKinney called the Pond. That's what I was telling you guys about earlier. And that rink had to close because of the Stars, essentially.
And
it got to a point where.
So that was almost like a
sheet of ice.
Yeah, it was almost like a skills development rink that you can just do skill development there, and so they basically bullied that rink to shut down, or they
also made it to where like my husband wanted to host a party for the team that my husband was coaching, and when people at the McKinney rink that hires up found out, my husband was told, "You can't do that. That's against the rules. We'll kick you guys out of the league," like all sorts of stuff. And that was house. That was 12U.
Really? That's really weird.
Intense back then.
Yeah.
Especially guys like Todd. We did an episode on him. And you really just didn't want to cross the wrong people because they could keep your kid from getting on a travel team.
Yeah, they control everything.
Kid on a lower skill house team even.
Yeah.
So they spread their tentacles with coaches and try to make exclusive agreements to be at a Star Center. And then
they charge the coaches a lot to be able to do private lessons.
So they took a cut of the coaches' payment.
Yeah, it used to be we paid for the ice. So you go in, you pay your $15, whatever it was, and then you pay your coach directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they charge the coaches, and you have to pay the coach one big fee.
Yeah.
So I would say an average lesson here for 4 skaters, $70 to $90 an hour.
Oh wow.
Per person.
Wow. I know
for a goalie.
Oh, okay.
This one will get you. When my son first started doing lessons with his goalie coach, we paid $15 to the rink, and I paid $30 to $50 a lesson with maybe 1 to 2 goalies on the ice.
Yep.
Now, we no longer pay the rink, but the goal lesson is anywhere from $130 with 3 goalies to $250 with 1 goalie.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah.
What, I know that we do that down here, not to that extent, but I know there's a skating coach that we do. You know, it's you pay $15 for the ice, and then you pay her $50 for the skating lessons. Wow, that would change everything. That's something that would be kind of interesting if that ever changed. That these coaches would go under the umbrella of the organization that runs it. That puts a different aspect. Now, what would stop you as a parent to get on the side, just to get some kids together, say, hey, you're going to rent the pond out for an hour. You grab this skating coach or this skills coach. They go, hey, would you come out? We're going to pay for the hour already. How much would it be if you come down and coach our kids? Would that ever be a scenario for you
With
guys
the
to do?
pond, you couldn't do it.
Really? They wouldn't even do it with the pond? And even it wasn't even controlled by...
So back, it had nothing to do with the Stars. So back in the day, when my son first started doing goalie lessons, we as a family, because we homeschool, we paid $100 a month for the family plan at the pond.
Okay.
It was unlimited ice. They had a little workout area. It was awesome.
Sounds like the lab, dude.
Then our goalie coach would be there, and it was maybe $30 for him.
That's perfect.
So it was amazing. That went away.
What was their... What was the reason? They just said it's against the rules, we're not doing it? Or what was it a really reason
Coaches were not no longer allowed to be able to be there.
Really?
If they wanted to coach at a Stars rink, which is what Kat was talking about, it was, I don't know if they ever said that you weren't allowed to do it. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it was deterred.
For us, we had our skating coach come out of there. And I personally liked it because they got more profit off of it.
Yeah.
And it helped them. And we loved our skating coaches very much. And then it was within weeks of us starting that she said there's these non-compete agreements and they can no longer do the pond and Stars ice. So that was the majority of their income. So they're like, we don't want to risk it.
So basically they strong arm the coaches to say, no, you're not doing this. And if you do, we're going to fire you. Okay.
And
they couldn't fire them. They just wouldn't allow them to rent ice.
Okay.
I would say they're the kind of people who would sit outside in surveillance. They would.
There was.
Now, let me ask you another crazy
Todd Cochran
question.
was there one night when we were there.
Oof, that's terrible that they would do something like that. Let me ask you another crazy question. Let's say, your son was during, how old was he this time? Maybe 12, 13 at this when it was the pond?
For me, when the pond, 12.
Okay. Now, I'm sure you're in the hockey community. You know a lot of people. You probably know a goalie that's a high school senior or a men's league goalie. And you go, hey, man, why don't you come down and help my son out? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Could that happen? And they would still get strong arm not to do it?
At the pond, yes.
Really?
But the problem, no, they didn't get strong armed.
Okay.
The problem with the pond, though, became that they could no longer get the money that they needed to stay open.
So they just shut it down.
Shut it down.
Oh, boy.
If they had come in even 2-3 years later, I think they would have thrived.
Yeah.
Okay, so that came on later then.
because
Okay.
It could have been more successful. And I'm actually kind of doing what you're saying right now. I've set up 3 young boys with 3 older boys. And it's at an outdoor rink. But you're getting a little bit of a mentorship.
That's exactly where I was going to go at.
And a cheap lesson. Yeah. And so I'm trying to turn it into like a sign-up page. I'll announce it in the next week or so. But I feel like mentorships are so special.
So
My
important.
son has had a great one.
Yeah.
And now that he's becoming one himself to a friend, it's so rewarding. I want it for every kid.
Well, it also teaches the older kids to say, "Hey, listen, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep coaching." It's something for
Exactly.
them
Correct.
to do, and it's a great thing. Like that, you nailed it. A mentorship program. I mean,
That's a theme that we've run into over and over when we have coaches on here, and it's really great to get their insight. But there comes a point where you're at the beer league,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
but you realize like that part of it's over. Maybe you tried to make it. Maybe you went to some training camps. Maybe you played in college. Maybe you didn't. It's all going to end at some point. But what you can really rediscover is the game from a whole different perspective. And some people,
Agreed.
it might be even better to be the coach, and it's just like a whole second career. So if you plant that seed with people when they're younger, that's great. So it sounds like the Stars planted the flags, they grew a community, then they got strong market share, and they were able to kind of enforce their will. So take us to 2023. You're the president of Frisco, Lisa. What happens there with the Stars and your Texas hockey, your high school hockey?
So going into April of 2023, our club had sent out anonymous parent player surveys. We always got feedback, and we would give it to Mike Hogan, who is our director of hockey. We expected him to kind of go over that feedback with the coaches. He never did. But we had 2 seasons where him and his assistant coach for our varsity gold team had really bad feedback. And it got to a point where some of it was, you're not fixing it. You're not changing. You're still doing it. So we're done. And with the assistant coach, he basically just had too much on his plate. He couldn't be at practices or games like he was in the past. So the board made the decision not to renew those 2 contracts. I got a phone call from Keith Andreessen, who said, just want to have a meeting with you, introduce myself as the league director. I'd known Keith for years at that point. But okay, no problem. I'll come in. He called me the morning of the meeting and said, I'm not feeling well. It'll probably be just a 5-minute meeting. I said, okay, no problem. Like I said, it was a couple hours later I left. I mean, my daughter was sitting in the car. She had a shift at Trader Joe's, and I said, I'll take you to work, but just sit in the car. I'll be there for 5-10 minutes.
boy.
Her shift started at 2:00. She was 30 minutes late. I started and ended the meeting at noon.
Oh boy.
And in that meeting, Keith Andreessen, who's the director of the league, he also is the GM of the rink that my team practiced out of.
He's the director of the Metroplex hockey,
The hockey
high school
league.
hockey league. Okay.
Yeah, he was also at the time, he was the Taha section president for high school hockey. So works for the Dallas Stars, section president for Taha High School.
What does he do for the Stars?
He's the general manager for the Frisco rink.
Okay.
And that's a Star Center.
Basically, if anything were to happen, yeah.
Okay.
If anything were to happen to Keith Andreessen, the high school hockey league would be no more. Because there's nobody else that runs it. He runs it all.
I think
So
we've
he
both
has me in
given
this meeting.
Keith a lot of grace in the sense that while we've had
does a lot.
disagreements, he does more than he should, especially for what he
Yeah.
gets paid. And I think
Yeah.
he's almost like a fall guy. They're like, Keith, we
Yeah.
made this terrible decision. You deal with it.
I agree. During that meeting in July of 2023, I made a comment to everybody that was asking about it that Keith was the sacrificial lamb. I mean, the poor guy stood in front of this room with all of the club's representatives and was like a firing squad of questions at him. And At one point, I remember him very clearly looking to the back of the room where Damon Betcher was there, Lucas Reed, Dan Morris, a bunch of guys from the Stars. And he said, anybody back there want to help me out? Because he was just in over his head with all the questions that were coming at him.
So he was drowning there when you guys were just drilling him with questions, and
It was, I mean, that night, it was horrible.
they just let him go,
I really, truly need therapy.
Oh, boy.
So there was a flashpoint over the two coaches, and you said we're going to stand by our decision, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So he threatened our ice, basically said, if we don't keep those coaches for that team, then I need to remember where we got our ice from. I pushed back as the president and said, we get our ice from the city, not you. We had multiple meetings as a board, talked to the director of hockey / that coach, Mike Hogan. So we gave him an option and we said, you can either be the director of hockey and the JV head coach, or you can be the varsity gold head coach. Your choice. But you can't do all three anymore. That was on May 8th of 2023. About a week later, he came back to me and said, oop, lost the thing. He said that he wanted to earn back being a varsity gold head coach, and he would just stay on as director of hockey and the JV head coach. May 22nd or 23rd, 2023 is when the league sent out an email to everybody, every club. And it said, you can no longer hire and assign coaches. You can't collect fees, and you can't host tryouts until after the league meeting in July.
So that's one of the questions that I had. How was the high school hockey league structured? Was there a board? Who was in charge of it? You said
No.
There's no...
The Dallas Stars.
Okay, so there's no organization that's independent that helped
Nope.
manage and organize. And how many teams? I don't think we heard. How many high school hockey
Prior
teams are
to
there?
the takeover, everyone had a board, and it was self.
No. He's saying that. He's saying the league doesn't have a board.
No, the league didn't.
So in Nashville, GNASH has a board.
Yeah.
So their high school hockey in Nashville, they have a board that runs their league.
Yeah.
Now each
Here it
We
was
don't have that
just,
here. The Stars
if you
run
had
it.
a question, you went to Keith.
Okay, so Stars control the high school hockey too. How many teams? How many high school teams are there in the school in Dallas?
I don't even know.
20 plus easily.
That's clubs, not teams. I mean,
Like you had two high schools
you
together.
Figure Frisco you basically base it off of your ISD. So for example, Frisco right now has 6 teams.
Okay.
3 JV and 3 varsity.
Okay.
and it's like gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't have that many teams.
But
No,
you've got
we
some
don't.
clubs that only have a JV team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have schools that are just combined, like say a Plano and a Frisco team together? Because in Nashville here,
So-
we have schools that don't have enough players, and so they'll combine with another high school. And if they don't have enough players, they'll combine with another high school. So you have 3 high schools on one team. And then yet you also have a team of homeschooled kids called the Outlaws. Oh, you know, it was the Outlaws, right? Is that it?
I think that's just people that don't have
school.
enough
It's
for
just
a
people that are like
school team,
unaffiliated there, right?
Yeah, that basically homeschoolers.
Yeah. So here it's a little different. If you go to your club, I guess your school ISD team, and you get cut, then you go to an open tryout.
Yes, they have that in New York.
If you live in a place that doesn't have a team, then you're considered an unaffiliated player, and you also go to that open tryout.
Correct.
And then you get placed.
Yep. Yeah, we had a draft in New York, and we had a school that didn't have enough players at JV. We were taking teams' freshmen's cuts that we had to take.
Yeah.
We had a draft from that team, so we ended up having to take freshmen. So we had kids that got cut from freshman hockey in the school and then ended up playing JV on another high school. So it was like, whoa, wait a second here, but that's what you had to do.
But each of your clubs has
Yeah.
its own organization, a board,
Correct.
perhaps, or whatever degree of sophistication. Some might be bigger than others. But
They're just considered nonprofits.
okay. But they were all beholden to the Stars because the Stars had so many rinks, and like you said, they kind of lured in high schools or helped them get the program going.
Yeah. Prior to 2023, we had more agency. So the clubs prior to 2023, we were able to collect league fees, collect whatever the clubs needed to stay afloat, pay coaches. We contracted our own coaches.
Yeah, I think that's
we paid
really
them,
important.
all of that.
Yeah.
You got to choose your coach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of the most basic
Yeah.
thing. But you lost that
our
ability.
club is definitely the cautionary tale.
Exactly. Might be the name of the episode.
I mean, I held a lot of guilt. For real. Dallas is the cautionary tale for you guys. I actually said that to a mom in your area.
So after that email came out in late May of 2023, then the local clubs didn't have a lot of say. And what happened to those coaches that you kind of went to battle over?
They were brought back, and they're still coaching at First Go Ice Hockey today.
Okay. So it seems like the Stars were
And they're
really
still terrible.
They were really invested in which coaches are going to move up their system.
It's the Good Old Boys Club. I know recently, and I don't want to get anybody in hot water, so I'm not going to say what club it is. But a club in our area reached out to me with an issue with some coaching stuff, parents upset, and they went to Keith Andreessen in the league and said, hey, we need another coach. This isn't working out what we're doing. And Keith's response was basically, okay, well, who do you have in mind? What do you want to do? Well, that's not on the club to do anymore. That's on you to do now. But that's the thing, is that they don't know what they're doing.
That's weird. That's really weird how
Yeah.
they took over that. And I guess in the beginning they had to, because no one knew what was going on, I guess, with the high school hockey and to put it together. So like you said earlier, they put the grassroots in and they started it, but then they can make some money on this deal even more so.
Trend. I'm going to say, like, from my perspective, and Kat's perspective might be a little differently, but for me, when my son started house hockey here at 12U, it was right after the Stars basically said, you're no longer going to wear a Devils jersey or a Kings jersey or whatever team. Everybody's going to wear Stars. You can no longer be the Devils. It was McKinney or MK, and then whatever the coach's name was. Looking back on that now, it's instant revenue. Every kid that's playing hockey in house is wearing a Dallas Stars jersey.
And it's a home and
Prices
away.
started to go up.
So they have a white
you got a
and
green and a white
one.
jersey.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
whoever, so it doesn't matter if you play in, like here in the rink that we're in, they do have different teams, but
Yeah,
the other organization
that went away.
they do have just yellow, blue, but it's still the same symbol on the front of it,
Yeah, yes.
I thought you said that.
So looking back, that's the cautionary tale.
Okay.
But some of the clubs, while you took away all the power that they had to make their own decisions and their autonomy, they still left some work for them to do.
Well, one of the things that they said during that July meeting to us was that the administrative burden was going to be lifted off of the clubs. The only thing that the clubs no longer had to do was have coaches sign contracts and pay coaches and do taxes that way. We still had to do taxes. We just no longer had to do taxes on their paychecks. Everything else, though, it was still the same. I felt like and depending on the time of the season, right? If we're going into tryouts for the regular season, I was working 40 to 60 hours a week for free for the Stars.
Having to do
The clubs were
paperwork
still
and
expected. Oh yeah,
basically being the manager.
you're
Do you set up the
yeah. I mean, you're
practices
setting
and
up
games?
tryouts, practices. You're getting all the registrations for everything going. You're making sure that every player that registers with you is legal. They're allowed to play for you.
Birth certificates and all that.
I's dotted and T's
We didn't have
crossed.
to do
All
all
the
that because that's
clerical.
USA Hockey.
Okay.
But we had to have USA Hockey information to make sure that they were legit and able to play.
Okay.
I'd say clubs like
Um,
Frisco and Allen were very lucky to have people on the boards that they did, because some clubs were like, we have to do all this work for free. We have no autonomy, just
I'm out.
bare minimum. And when
Yeah.
it's so sad for the kids who've never experienced high school the other way, because it was such a great place. And we've lost so many players. And now that they're saying, well, we're kind of going to hand it back over, but we don't know what that looks like. But you've already had so many players lost their senior year, graduated, haven't finished with the same experience.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of damage done, and they missed the apology note.
Well, and you also have all these clubs that have new boards in place. And those boards were never trained on how to do coaches' contracts, how to pay coaches, how to do anything like that we used to do prior to the split. Or not the split, but the takeover.
So you'd sent us something that they had done recently, the AT&T Metroplex High School Hockey League update, and it sounds like they've made an advisory board recently. What's this all about?
So the advisory board consists of 3 Plano dads, a Prosper dad, and then Cosmo Clark, who is amazing. But Cosmo is the high school section president for Taha.
We
But
kind
3
of
of the
this
dads
word
on there,
in
they're for
Dallas.
Plano.
What do
There's
they
a
do?
connection of
We call it, we're like Dallas incest, because people are governing
yeah.
themselves. And I will say Cosmo Clark is probably one of the few instances
Yeah.
where I can say I trust him to maintain both roles, but it doesn't take away from the fact there's still a conflict of interest right there.
What is the
Yeah.
Even when you
purpose
have
of this advisory board? Like, what? I mean, it sounds like maybe after the USA Today article, they're
we
trying
were
to
told
repair.
about it months ago or years ago, actually. So in 2023, we were told there was going to be an advisory council, if you will, and they never did it. And then you have people creating a ruckus and making all this noise, and they've got to start presenting that they care, showing, well, we're gonna make changes, but it's all on paper. I sent Cosmo Clark an email after that came out, and I took my 60 million questions and condensed it down to 18 questions.
a
And the
question
email
we
response
can't
I
even
got
get answered is, did they even know this was happening? Because
based on the
people are
email
kind
I
of,
got, it didn't look like it.
yeah, I feel like the
Yeah.
Spurs just kind of said, we're going to do this, and everything else is an afterthought, which is kind of their MO.
So
We're not thinking about players, coaches, or families. We care about how bad it looks on us right now. So we're going to do something to alleviate the pressure.
Yeah.
I think it's awfully coincidental that this announcement came within a week of Kim Kobe's article about the AT and
Yeah.
dating the Star.
So that they're basically cleaning up, trying to clean up some stuff here. So,
It's a smoke screen.
Yeah. Have you? So I was gonna. My other question was: have you seen some changes, or they're trying to make some changes after the trees were shaken by certain people down there, or are they just walking around with egg on their face?
Well, so yeah, kind of. I mean, we've seen some small changes. The biggest example of the changes is Taha.
Sure.
The Stars employees are no longer on the Taha board.
Okay.
And so that to me, I think is
A small victory.
it's a big one in my opinion. Yeah,
That's well,
was
again,
long
something worked.
overdue.
You know, congrats.
it was
And
very long overdue.
I think it's so. There's certain members who left Taha who were Stars employees who wouldn't hand over their email. So we have new Taha members kind of blindly trying to validate things. They have pieces of information, but not the whole picture.
Yeah,
Like, I'll give one small example. I was told that we were recently given a warning because we haven't reported concussions in 5 years.
it's been
And
longer than
so
that. Yeah,
Yeah. USA Hockey is like, why are we not reporting this in Texas? And so they got in a little bit that wasn't of their own making. So
Yeah.
now they did the trade calls. But even then, it's like, we haven't received anything official on like, hey, this is how we're going to report moving forward. But I think the new members were so overwhelmed with the amount of work
yeah.
because it was neglected for years by his employees.
Okay. Well,
A good example too is back in April, I asked for meeting minutes from any meeting Taha has had over this last season.
nothing.
Never got it.
So they were responsible to
No.
report the concussions and the minutes too, and they nothing, huh? Wow.
No minutes. It's like they don't exist.
It
Well,
sounds
there's
like
other things too. If you were to pull up their taxes, you would see things that
it sounds like the Wild Wild
like
West.
Taha was donating to TAP Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here. There's no concussions happening here in Texas. We have better
Well, and
helmets than
that was weird
everybody
because-
else.
So for me, my son in 7th grade, so 2019 going into 2020 season, he actually had a really bad concussion during a practice. And there was no reporting it. So,
But
I'll say if there's
well, that's on the
one
coaches
episode I
too.
would tell people to listen to of our podcast. We recently had a concussion specialist, Nikki Kirk, on,
yeah.
and it's frustrating because it's one of our less popular episodes, but one of the
But
most.
it's one of my favorite, and it's so important.
Yeah.
So much good knowledge in there.
Yeah.
Lisa, so when you said your son had a concussion during practice, did the coaches witness that, or did you
Yeah.
witness that? So the coaches did.
Oh no, the coach did nothing.
Okay.
And the coaches, I think he's still coaching. I know that other coaches in the area that knew my son from off-campus PE,
Wow.
they reached out to John McManaman, who's our safe sport coordinator, about it, and there was an investigation, but everything was basically
Washed
kind
over
of
the table.
okay. Well, yeah,
Now these coaches, is that coach there? I mean, obviously you have to be a coach to a certain level. Does Dallas, Taha have a level that they have to be at to be a coach down there, or can they just be a level 1 and coach, or
so to be a
do they
head
have to
coach,
be
I believe you have to be a level 4.
a level 4? Okay, to be a head coach. All right, I think that's the same up here. No,
But
that's
some
not
of the
same up here.
guys that are level 4 coaches, they became level 4 coaches when you didn't have to renew your coaching.
Yeah.
So they're grandfathered into the older program, where if you're a coach now, it's every couple of years you have to recertify.
Yeah, well, it's what is it? 1 through 3, you have to recertify, but if you're a 4, you don't have to. you're automatically
Oh,
a
is it
four.
still you don't have to?
Yeah, you still don't have to. I know a couple fours. You know who you are, Matt, out there. Remember Matt? Matt's a level
Yeah,
4.
I was thinking of him.
And Paul, you're level 4, and I have a friend in New York that's
Well,
level 5. Yeah, you.
Talking
level
about Cosmo
5.
Clark, he's one of the few level 5 coaches. And that guy's an amazing guy. He would give the shirt off his back to anybody in need.
It's like a
I just
Jedi.
think that it's a conflict of interest.
Oh, you know what it is. It's a weekend away from the family up in Lake Placid, and go hang out and listen to these guys talk, and it's a fun time. And you have to write a thesis and all that other fun stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And you're rubbing elbows with Cooper and John Van Beesbrook and all these guys up
Yeah,
there.
because
Richter.
you have to work alongside a pro coach.
Yep. They're up there, John Cooper
So,
and everybody.
yeah.
We need more young blood coming into the Dallas area. My son's mentor I mentioned earlier, he's on his first year of assistant coaching. I'd like to see him as a head coach in the next few years. I think we need more of it around here.
Well,
I don't know if Lisa wants to reveal this little connection we made earlier. There's a local travel coach, and he told his travel team, hey, I'm trying to spend more time with my family. I'm not going to attend all your tournaments or even all your games. And then he went over to the high school side and said, I'm going to miss high school because I'm travel coaching. So you're collecting 2 checks and not being fully present for either team.
Well, in this particular coach, to be fair, he's collecting 2 paychecks from one club and 1 paycheck from the travel club. And if he wants to spend time with his family, that's great. All 3 of his kids are away at college.
Okay.
well, you're going to have good coaches. You're going to have bad coaches. You're going to have ugly coaches. I mean, it's just like people. There's good things about people, and there's bad ones. But I thought I read that there was another independent organization that was maybe starting a league to try to be outside of the Stars' influence.
THL?
Yeah, how's that going?
That's our travel hockey league.
Okay.
I think it's actually doing better, right, Kat?
So it used to be the Dallas Stars Metro Hockey League, or the Dallas.
No, it was the Dallas Stars Travel Hockey League.
Yeah. It's the Dallas Stars Travel Hockey League. And basically some guys who got sick of how things were being ran, they said, we're going to create this league. Come with us. And teams followed them. So now they're in a position where they're just renting the ice from the Stars.
So they do get the ice from the Stars. They're not just at the independent rinks.
Okay. Well, that was one of the
they
questions.
Still
That was one of the questions I kind of wanted to push at.
Exclusively have Stars ice. But what the Stars did, as a little nip back, just to give you an idea of how they do people, is they waited for all the travel tryouts to conclude. Contracts
and all the financial agreements were already put out.
Financial disclosures have to be up within a week of tryouts. And so all the financial disclosures have been laid down. All contracts have been signed. And the Stars, after everything was done, came back and said, we're raising your ice prices, THL. So THL is actually probably losing money its first year in its operation. But I think they're doing a good enough job. They'll be okay.
Yeah, that was kind
That's my hope, at least.
Well, that was a question I kind of wanted to see because you Lisa, you talked about the high school hockey, and I know earlier you said we talk about the travel, and there's only one AAA program out there in Dallas, right? You said, and it's the Dallas Junior Stars. Okay,
Dallas
Stars Elite.
Okay, so that's the AAA program.
Yeah.
How many double A and how many single A programs do you have out there? Because that's a whole nother question too. Because we're seeing how the high school hockey is going. How is the travel organizations going over there? So that might be a 6.
So it's level to
6 now?
level. In the Texas Hockey League, we have 2 Oklahoma teams,
That's
one
right.
Austin team, one Houston team.
Well, that's the league.
One San
That's the
Antonio
Texas
team.
league. How many?
And then immediately in the DFW,
Yeah.
you have
McKinnon North Stars,
okay.
the Heat, the Warriors, the Tigers, the Penguins, the Brahmas.
So you have a
Go
Am I
Brahmas.
missing anybody?
Yeah.
And those organizations both have a double A and an A team, correct?
Yeah.
Except for the 18U level.
Yeah.
18U level
Yeah.
is
That's
only
tough.
18U is all double A.
so-
Yeah.
But 10U through 16U double
16U.
A has a tier 2,
2 and tier 3.
tier 3 at every level,
Okay.
Yeah.
provided they are able to field a team.
Yeah. Well, that's how. I mean, they're going to find if someone wants to play travel hockey and spend the money, they're going to field a team. They'll get them on the team.
Well, that was actually a couple of years ago. My son actually was going to play 18U, and the Warriors couldn't fill the team.
That happens. Yeah, we see that a lot. I mean, especially in New York too. You hear it, and like you said earlier, these kids get cut or they're not in a program. We're going to open up a new one, because I guess because a AAA pro, and that's actually pretty kind of good to hear that there's only one AAA team down in Dallas, and that's what it should be, because places are watered down with talent. They are.
Well, you want to see though another, because the Texas being as big as it is, there should be another AAA in the state. It doesn't, not in DFW.
It's 8 million people in the Metroplex.
reference.
I mean,
Yeah.
you take the
If
whole
you
state
look
into
at the
account. That's
Texas-
lots of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at the Texas Tigers and their record, there's clearly talent enough there for another AAA club.
Well, I'm sure there's also double A clubs there that can compete against their AAA team, and it's just the parents go, I'm not spending the 10 grand this year. I'm not doing it. My kid's going to play double A. He's going to play single A, and they're going to be just as good.
I get it.
I think here you find more parents trying to make elite. It's just you have a lot more kids going away here because that's their only option.
Well, it is.
Well,
It is their only
Elite's
option.
not just AAA. Most of their teams are top 5 to top 10 in the nation.
Yeah.
They're not just a AAA club. They are a true tier 1 competitor. I would say if this NDL goes, they're probably looking at doing an NDL expansion.
Well,
I would have to imagine.
one of my daughter's friends did go down there to play on that elite team, the Texas team. He was down there, and I think he's probably. Well, I don't think he's there anymore. He's 20 now, but I know he plays juniors now somewhere. But he.
You
went
get
down
the
there.
green helmet, you can kind of go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the motto.
Well, he's also he's born into the hockey royalty.
I know
world.
who you're talking about.
I said his name earlier.
We talked
to you.
about it, I think, Seth. Yeah.
He's part of the hockey world, so he's down there. He's playing juniors now, but yeah, he's got some royalty. Let's just say that.
Yeah. We have 2 friends within the last year who've gone up to play at Nashville Junior Preds.
Yeah.
So I find that's trending.
Well, Nashville's starting to, like we said earlier, it's starting to click with hockey world. It really is. It's starting to get its name on the map here a little bit. But I'm surprised, like you said earlier, there's only one AAA team in the state of Texas. It's huge. You could find another AAA team in there. I don't know. I mean, I know Nashville, they're like, oh, we need another AAA team. No, you don't. You don't.
I don't know if this will show up.
No.
I sent it to my billet earlier. I'll have to send you the
It's just a white
screenshot,
screen.
but it's Rhode Island. It's Rhode Island. This is the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex,
Yeah.
and this is Rhode Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have to pick on Rhode Island.
Yeah, well,
Everybody knows that Texas is bigger than France. So fight somebody your own age. Poor Rhode Island.
Right?
why is it called Rhode Island? There's no island. It's not an island. What are we doing here? I don't know. We got problems here. Why is that? Sorry, I sound like Seinfeld. Why is it called Rhode Island? It's not an island.
Yeah.
I think it was called Rhode Island and Plantation initially. So who knows? But it's interesting to see
But yeah, it's interesting here.
the different levels, and maybe there's some pushback. Maybe the Stars are trying to do some window dressing. Maybe you're getting the right people in, like Cosmo. But
Well, maybe the Stars are controlling the travel organization, saying no one else can have a AAA program down there. I mean, is that something that's going on too? I mean, that's something. Maybe. I mean, listen. Let's see how big it is. There's only one travel team.
So you have to get voted in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
On
you
the AAA.
you don't have to be
No.
sanctioned, though. You can
Yeah,
have a AAA team that just does.
no. You have to be sanctioned. The rink has to be
You have to
sanctioned.
be sanctioned.
Yeah, your rink, and then and also the thing
But
is
you can
too,
go to tournaments.
You can go to tournaments.
Yeah,
Go to
you can go to
tournaments.
tournaments.
Call yourself AAA.
No,
So-
they'll only be AA, and they won't accept you into Quebec, or they won't accept you into AAA specific tournaments. So, like up here, when that other team was AA, they would beat up on AAA teams, but they needed the AAA status to get to Quebec, and that's why
And that goes through a rink.
Well, it's a rink. Yes, it is. It goes through a rink.
Yeah, it has to be sanctioned.
Yeah, the rink has to be sanctioned. So there's no two teams can go into, one rink can't have two AAA programs. One rink is a specific, has to do it as a AAA, and you
I
can't.
was thinking of spring because we do have a few people who put together AAA spring opportunities.
Yeah, don't, Cat. No, yeah, the AAA. When they say a AAA spring, I'm like, come on, man. And they're like, my kid's playing AAA in Boston in summer. Stop it. The real kids are playing golf in the summer up there.
Yeah.
No, stop it. Don't. Yeah, that's something we can't do. Yeah, I always laugh at that. Like, no. And they'll do it. They'll sell it as a AAA. Come on, play AAA, and they'll charge you because the organization needs some cash.
It's a huge cash grab.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a cash cow. It's sort of like these, these showcases. Come down and do the showcases. Have my kid down there for $500.
Don't even get me started on that one. The amount, like when Clemson
Prospect
got
Oh yeah.
the women's lacrosse program, everything in my house became purple and orange.
Oh boy.
And then we paid a lot of money for my daughter to go to that prospect ID camp.
Sorry.
Loved the goalie coach. My daughter met the coach at other events, and they were really heavily recruiting her. And I was so thankful when she got there. She said, "This is not my home."
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot. These showcases. I mean, you see them all the time in baseball too. Perfect game tournaments, perfect game showcases. Come down. Let's see how hard you throw. Let's see how hard you shoot a puck. Let's see how fast you can skate. And that's all they're looking for. And there's 500 kids out there skating, and they're not going to take any. They may take one. And they may take one. Oh, like, hey, we'll be in touch. Okay.
Well, that's the whole thing. Kids aren't dollar signs, right? That's what you said in the article. And
that
there's
was
just
what I said.
a giant business apparatus. It used to be a cottage industry. Now it's just a full-fledged youth sports industrial complex where there's all kinds of different ways that they try to get you to come out and play. And we say here all the time that you learn a lot from sports, but things have changed from our day, and now it's professionalized at a younger and younger age. And if you want to compete, if you want to get the experience of a high school team, you really have to go out there and join the arms race and go to the private lessons, whether it's hockey or I'm sure there's lacrosse lessons, there's baseball, hitting, catching, pitching. And so the coaches have a way to make a pretty good income, even though they might not have made it with their dream all the way. And so what we're trying to do, the idea behind the podcast here, Beer League, was to just kind of give people some perspective.
Well, speaking of the Beer League, let's go back because, we got the perspective of what's going on down there with travel sports with travel hockey. We got high school hockey. Let's end it because it's in beer league. So what's going on with the beer leaguers? So that's where it all ends, right? Right, Greg?
Yeah.
It all ends in beer leagues.
This is where I wish my husband was home.
That's exactly. I mean, now your husband plays beer league. Your son now is dabbling in the beer league now too. So how is that being affected with this whole thing going on down there?
They restructured the whole program.
Yeah.
And they reduced the amount of games for the same price, essentially, which is what I understood. And then you have the whole perspective in our article of Jacob, I think, or who was it?
There was one fellow who signed a petition or something.
Was it
he's
Jason?
I was like, I'm getting my J's mixed up. There's a couple of them. But he started this petition and just trying to make beer league what it was. There was several petitions going around, not just
I love that picture.
Beer league.
It's funny.
That's what it's about right there. Beer league.
Yeah, the photographer was like, I'm going for American Gothic.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Love it.
Like, whole random fact.
I didn't notice that, but that's hilarious.
The guy who did our photography and all of our interview stuff for USA Today, he's actually the one who got the 99 team pictures of when the Dallas Stars won the cup.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it was really cool having him here and him like telling us his background.
Hey, another question with the beer league. Is it per team or per player in the beer league? Because I know some places around here do
teams play.
No. I'm just saying how much pay. So it's just per team. So let's just say one flat fee for per team. It's say, $2,100 for this.
For now.
Well, $2,100 for the just the season, which is a quarter, which is a 10-game season. So they have four quarters of it. And the other organization does it per player, which is kind of bizarre because I know up in North where you played, it was per team regardless. You put a team in, you say 2,100, divide it by 11 people.
Goalies are free.
Goalies are always free. You should know that. Always remember that. Tell your son.
My husband is not. My husband has to pay.
No, that's it. Tell him to find another team.
Yeah.
I just remembered. They also made the periods shorter.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought I read they were running clock. Surely they're not running clock the whole time.
Yes.
Oh.
I think it's like the last 2 minutes it stopped play.
Oh boy.
Oh,
it reminded me of lacrosse.
Yeah, because they just try to fit them in.
That's how female lacrosse is.
Try to fit it in, dude. That's exactly what it is. Put them in, get them in, get them out.
That's just wrong. If it's 5 goals,
go back to the cost of ice.
If it's lopsided, okay, run the clock. But just in general,
what's the latest night that beer league goes to? I mean, like what's the latest? What's the last game?
My husband had a game a couple weeks ago that started at like 11:15, 11:30.
Okay. Is that the latest?
And again, they have to go to work.
So he'll be out till 1:30.
Well, he's in the parking lot drinking. No, I'm kidding. No, but he's with the buddies. That's listen, I've gotten that one. Like I used to tell my wife, "Look, game's not over yet." Like it's 2 a.m. No, the game's not over yet.
I'm on the bench.
I'm hanging out a little bit. The game's went to overtime.
No, that's midnight hockey, though. I think it starts at 11.
The app. Where's my husband at now?
Yeah, exactly. Good thing we didn't have it back then. Yep, on a weeknight.
He's running back to the house. But on weekend games, he'll stick around and drink with the guys.
That's perfect. That's what it's about. That's what beer league's about.
But a lot of ours aren't on the weekend.
Okay.
Like my husband's games are usually on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's all they were. They would always Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights. Like I was saying, I played in a place called Midnight Hockey League up in New York, and sometimes our games are 2 a.m. We start at 2 a.m. and then we go play a game, 3, take a shower, and I go straight to work at 5. That's how it was. I mean, that's what if we wanted to play hockey, that's what it is. It's the ice is there, you're ready to play, and you go.
One of the things, like before we started recording tonight, we were talking about the grassroots programs, and that's really what's lacking here now.
Yeah, it's
kind of sad that I got to see it at its peak, And now I've got to sit back and go, okay, what are you doing with it?
That's what builds.
The kids aren't developing like they were.
Yeah, and you have to
The
build a
enrollment
base.
numbers. I know there was a big thing because the girls program misreported their numbers.
Yeah.
And they really need to just give it over to the girls elite because they do a good job of developing girls. The stars need to say they're good at that or not. You know, there's a place. And so I'd like to see them back into the programs.
Essentially, the best thing would be if the stars just got their hands out of all the pots. Run the rinks.
They should be a resource.
Run out the ice, and that's it.
They should be a resource for that. And I get it. You know, you got to let it happen, and you also have to have competition. There has to be competition. You have to have it happen. You know, be a resource. Let them come to the rinks. Let the stars guys come to the rink. Shake hands, kiss babies, show grassroots. Get out there with the 5-year-old kid. Let him look up and give him that ability to go, that's my hero. I want to be like name a star right now. That's as much as I watch hockey lately.
Tyler Sagan, Jamie Benn.
There you go. Jamie Benn. I like Jamie
Rantanen.
Benn. I'm ranting in. There you go.
Right now it's
there you go. Keep
Robertson,
going. Keep
Robo
going.
and
Ottinger. I know that goalie Ottinger, right? That's him. Is he still there?
Good.
Ottinger. There, he's
so
still there.
the really cool thing about where my club got to practice was like my daughter's 16th birthday, and Kat knows my daughter went to everything for her brother. So if he had a 6 a.m. practice, 9 times out of 10 she was at the rink with me.
Good.
Because she'd get her Starbucks and get to hang out with all the moms she loved.
Perfect.
But she also would get to see Tyler Sagan on her 16th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd stop in and take pictures. And it was great. When Bishop was here, I remember standing watching my son in goal. And Ben Bishop standing next to me going, goalie mom, that's tough.
Yeah.
And I just laughed at him because I had a flashback of his mom with the brown paper bag. Just like, dying watching him play.
But that's grassroots right there. Let them be a face. You know, unfortunately, like I said earlier,
you don't really see that much now.
No, you don't, because what's happened now is the face of NHL is like, and this may get me in trouble here, but hockey's is an entitled sport. They're very spoiled. Spoiled brats. It used to be. Like these guys were out there hanging out with you. They were great kids, great people, great role models. Like Adam Graves from the Rangers. The guy is absolutely just amazing person. One of the best people I hung out with was Ali Afridi. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He won the hardest shot contest. The guy was the coolest guy in the world. We sat there, had beers. He wouldn't drink beer. He would always smoke cigarettes, though. And we were like, dude, you still smoke? He goes, until someone beats me in a skating race, I'll stop smoking. But we sat there right outside Nassau Mausoleum at the Marietta Cross, where they would all hang out. We sat there with Ali Afridi for 2.5 hours, just sat there and talked. And the guy was the coolest guy. Try that now. The old school guys will still do it. I don't think the younger kids will do it as much anymore. It's that point right now. I mean, I don't know.
I have a really cool picture of my daughter with Marty Turco. And he was doing this question answer thing. And back then, my daughter wanted to do colorful commentary for ESPN. She was all about sports and sports broadcasting. And so they got to talking, and he handed her his mic and said, "Interview me."
That's cool. And
really she did. Cool. It was a really cool moment.
That's an old school guy.
But that doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen as much anymore. It's really not. I don't know. Maybe it's because the contracts have gotten so much. Maybe it's, it's just a different ego. It's spoiled entitlement.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of these kids, you look at Austin Matthews. He's the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And boy, it's overwhelming for him right now. All the guy cares about is what he's wearing. No, he don't really. Really, it's what he's going to wear when he's coming out of the game. Come on, I don't know. I may be talking on the other side.
Style icons.
He's in Vogue magazine. What he's wearing, and that's what he's caring about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we
So I'll
can't
say
go
when we
back to
first
the
started-
70s.
You know what? Yes, we can go back and say, "Get
Some
off my
things-
lawn." That's
some
what
things
it's about.
are just not as good as they used to be, and
Thank
it's
you.
not just hockey.
I
We
know.
can't pick on hockey.
That's a whole nother episode. You know.
Yeah, but that's the premise of all this.
Stars used to
Why we're
have
here.
these open practices.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome because all the players at the end would take time to sign the kids' stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2020, they never removed the rope, you know? So there's a little area where some players will choose to come out on their way to the garage, but it's not the same level of interaction. And then there's guys who retire and stay here, like
Bob Bassin.
Bob Bassin.
Yeah,
Wow, there you go. You
Bassin.
just
Love him.
Severin.
Brent Severin.
I
There
love
you go.
Sevy.
Another one.
Yeah.
Now you're
Sevy's
talking.
amazing.
Now you guys talking my area here. Where's Zubov? Is Zubov still around? Or he went back to
I
Russia?
don't think he's here.
No, I haven't
Sergei
seen him.
Zubov is an ex-Ranger.
But I
That's
mean,
why.
come here, and you can. I'll introduce you to Brent.
Oh, Brent.
You know what's crazy?
I love Sevy.
We ran into him on the ice at like 1:00 today.
Yeah,
Did you see him?
his afternooners.
So he works with kids. He works with adults. He hosts this adult nooners game.
Mm-hmm.
So he stayed heavily involved, and it's
That's
great. Vernon Fiddler used to be in the ring.
Yeah, Fiddler.
Vernon Fiddler.
Oh,
we just
Fiddler.
talked about Vernon Fiddler. Yeah, his son just got drafted.
I love him.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's such a
Blake
great guy.
is incredibly talented.
Yeah, he was from Nashville over here. Didn't he get a jersey signed to Victoria? Right? Is that it? The jersey was
Our
Victoria.
CPA, remember?
Our CPA has a
Well, and
Vernon
like-
Fiddler.
When we talk about how with high school, all of it, they used to have the Dallas Stars Foundation used to give a lot more money than they do now. And when Jason Spezza was here, he had the Jason Spezza Scholarship. And I remember they used to have these clinics that the kids that got the scholarship got to go to. So my son got to go.
Cool.
And my daughter was there, and they had a question and answer thing afterwards with them. Signed autograph. You got to go in a room one-on-one with them. We were in there. There wasn't a dry eye in that room when my daughter was done. My daughter said, can I go in there? I didn't get the Spezza scholarship, but can I go in there? I just want to thank him. And she walked in that room and thanked him for giving her brother this opportunity.
Oh.
And he started welling up with tears and said, "Can I shake your hand?" Because we don't get to do what we do on the ice if we don't have family that supports us.
I don't think they understand
Those moments
that
don't
now.
happen.
They don't understand it
No.
now. And that's what's sad. It turned quickly, and it has turned quickly, and it is it's something that I the old school, like we go down to the rink, we'll see some Preds down there. You'll see Stamkos, he's great. We talks to the families. Yossi, superstar, talks because again these guys are old school. Shen's there talking to people. Shay's down there talking to people. Who's the other one that talks to people a lot too? He's always there. Oh God, I have a hiccup now. Name some not Marshall, but Marshall's big part in the
O'Reilly.
Oh, that's him. O'Reilly's perfect. He's really he's there. He's there hanging out, talking to kids. And the kids are all happy. They run up, "Can you sign my stick?" And they're going running out and playing. I'm like, "Dude, you just got your stick signed." He's like, "Okay, I'm just skating with it." Like, all right, whatever, bud. But it is cool. You don't see that anymore. You don't see it. You see it almost standoffish. Is it maybe because you have European hockey players and the English barrier? I don't know. Again, it might be something that I don't know. But it is different. It is absolutely different. So that's my little high horse there. It's not my rant, but it's a high horse.
I really would. I'm on that train of, what really grinds my gears? It's, you see us in the news. There's so much going on here in Dallas. And you have this Dallas Stars Foundation. And they don't really put the money back into the kids who play here.
No.
And we have people in the group all the time, job loss, illness, all kinds of things. And I love that our group and Texas hockey parents, someone will come to me and they'll say, I want to remain anonymous. I don't want to put a stain on my kid. So I'll put out a memo and say, hey, we have this family who's going through this struggle. Venmo me if you feel like helping, basically. And we've raised $2,000, $500, $300.
Yeah.
In a matter of an hour.
In a matter of hours.
Family.
Yeah.
You know, I get that.
So it's like, I think it was Tyler Sagan just started something for dogs. And it's like, that's great. I love that. I love that you love your dogs and your heart's in that.
Yeah.
But where are the guys helping the little guys that were them 15,
well, yeah, you have the Friends
ago?
of the Finns, and they don't do nearly as much as Jason Spezza did.
You know
I
what?
call it a season discount.
I mean, we
they
could
give you a scholarship, but it's like, here's $300 off. I will shout them out. They gave us $500 off our high school season this year, but the Warriors,
which is over $2,000.
Yeah, the Warriors as an organization had helped us more. Then again, I do a lot for them. I'm team managing 2 teams and running coach's feet. I'm sure y'all saw me texting because our coach's fiance is like, "Hey, when does he get off the ice?" So team managers, we do a little bit of it all.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell you, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate with myself here on this one too. We sit here and we're like, oh, they don't get involved, they don't sign autographs. But on the flip side of that, you have people that take advantage of guys like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what, and I think they gotten so sick of it. I mean, look at that guy, Zach Hampel, the baseball guy. Guy runs around catching baseballs and like diving over people. And then, yeah, he says he gives them to kids, whatever. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But you have guys, hey, can you sign this? And can you sign this, this? And he sells it on eBay or sells it at a auction house. And that's what.
At the end of the day, why does that matter?
It's good. You know what though? It doesn't matter, but it matters because when you're out there, you're skating around and you see a kid, and you want to help out a kid, and you just start signing, and then you're like, wait a second, I saw you 2 weeks ago asking me to sign this again, and I saw you this again. You're like, dude, come on, man. It's not about that, and it's also they're profiting off your name, off your signature. In a way, that's not really right either, because it's
well, they do have contracts too.
Yeah, they do. They got contracts, but it kind of ruins it. It ruins it for the players too.
It's like a 19-year-old coming to your door on Halloween and
yeah, that's true.
It's like,
yeah.
I'm
really.
Yeah.
I've got a kid with autism, and if he wants to go trick or treating at 22, go trick or treating at 22.
That's a different thing. No, I get it. Listen, but when you see a guy that's out there, and he's, hey, can you sign this? Listen, if you have a kid with you doing it, let the kid do it. Show some dignity a little bit. Don't just run there with a book and go sign these 7 cards. Come on. Really?
Well, let's tie it back in. Let's sum it back up. We've heard about the high school. We've heard about the travel league. We've heard about the independent league starting back up. The beer leagues, whether they're running clock. Do you believe that the Stars have set up a monopoly in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
What do you think can be done in other markets to try to prevent similar stories or horror tales or whatever we're hearing out of Dallas? Like, what transparency should people look for? How can you learn some lessons from what happened? What should you look out for? And how can you keep them accountable and try to hold people honest? Keep them honest.
I wish I had a really
That's a great question right there, bro. That's awesome.
I think the biggest thing is speak out. Talk about things openly.
Heel said that when I created the group, there was this overwhelming anonymous post phase.
Yeah.
When that we offered it through the admins before it was a Facebook feature. And there was this clear message. People were in fear to speak out.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask
And
you.
I
Was
think
there a fear of
so.
backlash?
Oh, 100%. You know, I talk about in one of our episodes, I've been threatened in offices.
Really?
My family, my son.
Oh yeah.
I've
Really?
been banned from the rink for posting in my own group.
Wow.
I have faced incredible turmoil. Coaches have judged
Yeah.
my kid. It's kept him from teams.
Has your kid ever just said, Mom,
Um,
stop. I just want to play hockey?
Mine actually went
He
off on me
really-
last week.
Really?
Mine, he says, "Can I be in the group?" all the time. He's like, he's like, "Make me a mod." He's like, "I'll put these parents in their place."
Yeah.
But I'm like, absolutely not. No minors. But
That's
he actually
disturbing
told me,
that you got
Yeah.
threatened.
he told me he was proud of me when the USA Today article came out. And he said, "I really hope high school changes." He said it'd be great to feel that school spirit for the way it once was. And
Yeah.
we just had this great showcase game. And
Where you guys won the ship.
Nice.
Oh, well, this weekend we won one of the varsity brackets for the tournament.
Yeah.
But a couple weeks ago, the Dallas Stars gave us a showcase game, and they did no promotion for us. So Plano East.
It's the same thing
Allen,
last year for us.
Yeah, we went out and we promoted the crap out of it. And we got a crowd out there. And my son said, "Mom, I want you to speak out on the podcast and kind of call out the Stars. They should promote us more.
Yeah.
They should get people out to our games."
There's no social media presence. There's nothing.
Yeah. And so he said that feeling of just being watched and having cheerleaders was such an experience. And why isn't it like this every game? You know, I mean, and we're talking about 1/20th of what shows up for football at this game.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the Stars just put a little bit into the social media and hyping up these schools and promoting face-offs and rivalries, it'd be fun to see more people come out. It'd be fun to see the younger kids come out. So many kids that showed out to that game from the promoting I did asked, "How do I start hockey? How do I follow y'all?" Parents were like,
that's where
"How
I
do
keep
we
saying
see
the
your
Stars missed the
schedule?"
mark.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's not enough connection between the parents and the players and the coaches or the people that run it. It's like oil and water almost. And instead of having an open dialogue and a true conversation or partnership, it's sort of, you don't like it, get out. It's pretty cowboy.
Yes,
I hope
it's very much that way.
advisory board creates a space for parent and player feedback, because I think my son has recognized what we're doing needs to be done.
Yeah.
But I'm very lucky. Lisa will tell you, my child is someone who's beyond his years of maturity. He's very,
he's an old soul.
Very old soul, very just, he's an encouraging kid for anyone around him.
Well, Kat, you know, what he said to you, that must be the most proudest part as being a parent right there, when he said that. That must have been amazing. Almost like you scoring a goal, how great that felt. That's a great. That's amazing that he did that. and
And I asked him
attributes to
every
you.
second of the way. I said, will you be embarrassed if I start a podcast? No. Will you be embarrassed if I go on USA Today? No. Do what you want. So
Yeah.
I've gotten his permission every step of the way.
Perfect. That's
And that
awesome.
makes me feel good because it is truly about him.
And it is.
Everything I do
It is.
Yeah.
That's
for
awesome.
him.
Kat, that's beautiful. That is absolutely awesome. You and your husband should be extremely, extremely proud that your son said that to you, and that's amazing. And you
Oh,
too,
my
Lisa.
He's a tremendous kid.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Like you said, is he the captain of the team?
He is
Didn't he get an A this year?
alternate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's alternate for varsity. And we've been waiting for our travel coach to announce who gets captain.
All right. Well,
So
where's your
he's hoping
where's
he
your
might-
travel coach's phone number? Let me call him. Get that guy in the horn. Listen, that's the
Oh,
big.
Cam.
At Cam, put the C on the kid's jersey for God's sakes now.
Well, we really appreciate y'all's willingness to stand up and be heard. And I think you've really resonated, not just in the non-traditional markets, but, something we didn't really talk about here, but it might not just be the Stars MO. There are other ways of trying to get
Yeah.
an ice empire, and private equity is dipping into youth sports because it is
This
a
is true.
$40 billion a year. This is not valued at $40 billion. It's $40 billion in revenue. And so when you have those kinds of numbers and you have passion and you take kids' dreams and mix it in, you're just going to have a lot of
Dabble
money.
that carrot in front of their faces and the parents' faces, saying, "Hey,
Yes.
you're going to make it. You're going to go. Keep feeding me."
And, it's
Well,
it's been inspiring to see you guys stand your ground, and hopefully the message can spread, and we can learn lessons, and maybe Dallas will finally get some people in charge that listen and can do what needs to be done to maybe repair some relationships and try to broaden the group that is involved in the community instead of it being top down. Have the grassroots grow up and have different voices.
That would be the hope, right?
Yeah.
But even if it doesn't happen in
And
Dallas,
we need-
we're trying to spread it to Nashville. We're hoping to
Well, and I
take
think
what we've
that's the
learned.
importance of why I wanted to come on.
Mm-hmm.
If I could go back, hindsight is 2020. If I could go back
Yeah,
knowing
and-
what I know now, I would have started a podcast. I would have done everything, and I would have been so loud and so vocal. I would have looked for any
we
state,
hadn't have been
anybody to
scared-
help us.
We would have started sooner if we hadn't been scared. We shouldn't have been scared. So
Yeah.
when you talk about advice to other markets, there's never going to be a good time to speak out. So do it. Do it scared.
Yeah.
Do it tired.
Well,
Do
and
it beaten down.
I think what you guys are doing, like you're complimenting us. I think what you guys are doing is amazing.
Yeah.
You've got so much speed already behind you. Keep pushing, keep asking the hard questions, keep having those coaches on your podcast, talk to the CEOs, talk to everybody. Ask them the hard questions.
They got to get on the show, though. They got to get them on the show. We got to make
Well,
sure
you
they
got-
come on the show.
You got you're getting them.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
I
Thank you.
think
Thank you
connecting
very
you
much.
guys with G Nash
Yeah.
is going to be a huge step forward for you guys in the realm of what's going on in Nashville.
Yeah. I think.
I think that the more people speak out about it, the better.
Let's just.
I think sports in general, like Lisa and I, we're going to do an episode soon about just my family history, how addiction runs heavy in my family. And I think sports are saving my son from that fate. And
100%.
I want to see it more affordable for more families, because beyond the goals or the saves or any proud moment on the ice, it's about the young men and women that come out of this sport. And undeniably, my son's best friend are hockey kids, and it's so much of that is about character.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like, my proudest moment, I love when my kid scores a goal. But I sent Lisa this message the other day. I was bawling. A mom messaged me and she said, "Hey, I don't know what E said to my son, but he scored 3 goals this weekend. He's so confident. He's out there gliding. I can't thank your kid enough." And that hit me like, I don't have to say my kid's a good person because I see him being a good person. And so much of that we owe to hockey and coaches and friends. And that's what I want to see is accessibility in a sport that grows good human beings.
Well, that's amazing because, my best friend's still at home in New York from hockey, from football, from baseball, all sports. Greg became a great friend of mine through hockey. Our kids played hockey together.
Yeah.
My friend group here is from hockey and baseball, and our kids, they're together. And my wife's great friends are from the dance. My daughter was in dance, so it's still a youth sports. It brings people together, and that is
it's a community.
It is. It's an absolute community, and
no matter what sport you play,
it's exactly. It's beautiful how it all brings it together. And I talked to old friends of mine that the kids. I'm like, hey, you played travel sports. What would you do it all over again? Dude, I'd drop every amount of money that I would do and feed that monster even more because my kids had such a great time. They're best friends right now. Are still kids that they played travel baseball. They don't remember what game they won or what tournament they won, but they do remember hanging out, jumping in the pool with each other and doing cannonballs or, even in hockey, they don't care about the game they had last week. They care about them hanging out and running around doing trick-or-treating. That's the type of stuff, and they don't care. But they do care, the friendships and what they build and the bonding and the friendships that they've always have in life.
Them, like learning full circle. My son met a kid back in 2017, I think. I was in a rush, had to get to a lacrosse field, couldn't tie my kid's skates. Dad wasn't there. I said, I gotta go. This kid walks over and says, "Ma'am, I can help him." Never had to tie my kid's skates again. That kid is now playing college hockey with my son.
That's awesome.
And his mom is my best friend. That's what it's about. And then, you have these coaches that were not the best to my kid. But when that coach would call my kid at 6:00 in the morning and say, "Hey, I got a goalie struggling. I need you to come to practice," my kid was there. And you see that, I think, more often than not here. I think, Kat, you'd agree. We see that a lot with the older kids that worked with our kids, just kind of took them under their wing. You now see our kids doing that. So.
And I think that's why varsity is so special to us, because you get travel kids, house kids, kids who normally wouldn't play with each other.
Yeah.
And that's where these real bonds and mentorships are formed.
Yeah.
When people always say, "Why do you pay so much?" I'm like, can you put a price on what it's done for my kid? Keeps them out of trouble.
Like for us,
disciplined.
We homeschool. So there was no, and I don't remember what it's called in Tennessee, but here, UIL. Hockey's not UIL, so my kids get to play. In Tennessee, homeschool kids get to play hockey and football and everything because of Tim DeVoe.
Yeah, no, they do that. That's what I said earlier too. It's the homeschool.
We don't have that here.
That's amazing. That's crazy.
Just club sports. So when we talk about the reason why my daughter played lacrosse, it's a club sport.
Yeah. Wow.
Hockey, club sport. So
it's very deep. The relationships that you develop and the life lessons that you learn, obviously. Sometimes you learn through, the hard stuff, the adversity. Maybe it's not you learn every lesson from the great coach. It's some of the bad coaches that help you actually deal with stuff.
Hey, you always take the good and the bad and the ugly.
Those
and you
are
learn.
life lessons.
Hey, you learn from them. You always learn, And
Yeah.
that's you have a bad coach. Hey, listen, I know what not to do next time.
So that was great. We're gonna kind of sum it up here. I think we've learned a lot of things to look out for, things maybe
a lot of warning signs. What I'm seeing,
you might have done different, and things that you are trying to convince people to do. So we're going to move forward with that, and appreciate you guys for coming on and talking about all of these.
Thank you for having us on.
But we like to end with something a little bit lighter.
Little something here. We do a get off my lawn
Go for
rant
it.
because this is the Get Off My Lawn studios here. So, I'm that curmudgeon old man that I am right there, and it's called the Get Off My Lawn segment right now. So what we do is we throw a couple names at you, and these names we say, okay, which one do you want off the lawn, and which one you want to stay and have a cup of coffee with? Let's just be honest, So one we say you stay, and one we don't. You get out of here. You get off the lawn. So the first one we have for you both. One at a time. Joe Thornton or Ryan Getzlaff.
Ryan Getzlaff again.
Yeah, Getzlaff, he does keep ruining his head right now. He's going to yell at me, I can tell you that. Which one do you want off the lawn, and which one do you want to have a cup of coffee with?
I gotta say, Thornton have a cup of coffee. Getzlaff
Agreed.
off the lawn.
Off the lawn.
Guys, this is hurting me. I'm a little personal with that one. So
Thornton. He's
Joe
just got a great personality.
I think it's just going to be an
beard.
interesting conversation.
That beard here is
Well,
pretty
and
cool.
Thornton and Burns,
Yeah.
they've been through Texas. They've helped in camps here.
Yeah.
So, personal connection.
Okay. Well, that's exactly what we're looking for. Hey, I'm going to stop you on this one. I'm going to throw these two names at both of you here. I'm going to throw a little curveball to get off my lawn here. Really quick. Do you guys think Jonathan Quick's a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, there's two definites. And what about, do you think Jamie Benn is a Hall of Famer?
100%.
Not yet.
No fighting, ladies.
100%.
No fighting. I had to throw those two names at you. All right, well, that's good. All right, just had to get it going. And now we have the other one. Here we go.
All right, this is
A better captain. Who's a better captain? Dustin Brown
Yes.
or Andres Kopitar? See?
Kopitar.
Sorry.
I love Kobe, but Dustin Brown gave my son his stick and signed it. I just loved that. I love Brownie.
Okay.
He's a good guy. When we talk about those old school guys,
Listen, you already know who I feel. I love
Dustin
Dustin
Brown's one of
Brown.
them.
To me, Dustin Brown's a throwback.
Yeah.
I loved him. They did him wrong by taking away the
Yeah.
C from him. That's where I get a little angry. And you know how I feel about like these. Unfortunately, he's a great hockey player, but he's a European, and I don't really want Kopitar as my captain. That's for sure. But
it'll
go
be
ahead.
interesting to see who the Kings pick next year as their captain.
Well, I'm surprised Doherty hasn't
Kopitar's
been.
intensity.
You like his intent? He's a hell of a hockey player, but I'm surprised Doherty wasn't the captain. That to me is that's throwback right there. Doherty, that guy is a stud.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got too much left. He's got too much left in the tank.
He's at the end of his career, and he knows
The
it.
mileage is up there.
Yeah, I know, but
I've really
It's
enjoyed
hard.
getting to
So
watch
many
him
of
his
our
career.
favorites.
uh-oh. Now this is my rant
Oh.
here, guys. This is my rant. These are the things that I get a little angry about. This is Seth's rant, as you can see behind me. It's going on right now, Seth's rant. Listen, I've been thinking a lot about this, especially the holiday seasons, and I'm sitting there watching the news. I watch the news, and what happens? This is going to be the busiest travel season of it. Everything is the busiest. This has got to be the busiest travel season. I flew to Florida. There was no one in the airport. There was no one anywhere. Oh, it's going to be so busy. You're going to get there early. The lines. No one was online. I walked right through TSA. It was terrible. Nothing was going on. Jumping up, it was 17,000 empty seats around me. I got 4 drinks when on the plane. They kept coming back. You want some more? No, thank you. I'm done. So empty. It's the same thing as, the Farmer's Almanac. This is going to be the hottest summer ever. Who the hell's the Farmer's Almanac? It's going to be the coldest winter. Bull crap. It's not going to be. They're just making crap up. This is the thing. Oh, it's like again. Oh, Cyber Monday. It's going to be the busiest ever. You're full of crap, all of you. You're just trying to scare us and manipulate us into do things. Knock it off, please. Just stop. It's not going to be the busiest season. Who knows? No one knows. You can't predict it. Well, AA says the busiest travel, they're going to be the more cars on the road. You're pulling that out of your rear end. It's not going to happen. No one knows. You can't predict it. There's my rant. That stuff bothers me. Thank you. I appreciate that time there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult season for travel right before Thanksgiving with the shutdown.
The shutdown and everything.
But it seems like maybe they figured it out and everything went.
It's going to be the busiest season according to them on that TV set. That's what it's going to happen.
Pictures at DFW look scary.
You see, Lisa and I Googled W airport Thanksgiving.
And what it was?
Pictures were insane.
Yeah, it was probably 2010. That's what it was. They lied to you. I know it was.
You went down to Florida early, though.
I went down Saturday and came back Wednesday, the busiest travel season. And I went right through, and I was giving high five to every TSA agent as they walked in.
If you live in Florida, you make people come to you. You're
Exactly
not
what
flying to Minnesota from Florida for
But
Thanksgiving.
you flew out of like BNA, right?
Yes, I did. It was wide open
Well, that's a
too.
wonderful
I can
airport.
say when I used to travel out of there, it was never busy.
Oh, listen! Did you see on Sunday?
Not on the holidays.
On Sunday, there was a backup so bad that people had to get out of their cars on the whatever the
To
40
run to
get up to go up
40.
the ramp. So there was cars lined up on 40 that they couldn't get to that. They had to get out of the car and walk up.
That's the worst travel ever.
That's what they said, but not that day. That day was bad, but the other days were not. So still,
Well, I'm glad it's over, and
me
we're
too.
headed towards the holidays here for
Right.
real. So, thank you guys for sharing your story with us. Thank you for standing up and fighting the good fight and inspiring everybody else to say what needs to be said.
absolutely, Lisa and Kat, you guys are amazing. You're front runner on this, and be proud. Be very proud of what you guys are doing.
Thanks, guys.
And especially Kat, you're still involved in feeding the monster too. And Lisa, you're out of it, but yet you're still in it, which I applaud you so much. Because you don't have a hat in the game anymore, so but you're out there still fighting the good fight, and
Fighting for what's right.
You just want kids to have. You just want the kids to have the best experience, and you don't want families to have to lose houses, go into debt to do it.
And that's
Yeah,
the biggest thing.
absolutely.
We've heard some crazy stories about people taking HELOC loans on stuff like this. You're like, what are you doing?
That's crazy.
Stop it.
Well, thank
I
you for.
appreciate you guys having us on here. It's been fun getting to talk to you.
Well,
And
make
like
sure
Lisa said,
if anybody's
we
still
even
listening
changed a
from
little bit.
the Texas Hockey Parents Facebook, follow us on Spotify, Beer League, and you want to follow us on Beer League Live on TikTok and YouTube.
TikTok, you do good.
TikTok's where the party's
That's
at.
TikTok. You're a TikTok fool, and I think you're doing great. Thank you so
TikTok
much.
is a lot
and,
of
and we
fun.
also have YouTube.
I love TikTok.
See, I'm like that old guy,
I'm just learning it.
Me too. That's why Greg's here. Greg's doing the TikTok. I call it the TikTok. It's like
don't
the
do that.
clicker. The click. I'm got the clicker.
The
That's
clock
it.
app.
Yeah, exactly. And we're also on YouTube, Beer League Live.
And if you have any questions or want
I
to
think I
contact
subscribed
us,
already on YouTube.
Did you? Yes.
beerleaguelive@gmail.com.
Any questions or concerns, or just say you like my hair? I don't know. Maybe you like my hair. You think I like my hair? If I showed it, I don't know.
You can
Tell me
wish.
to wear a different jersey. I
You
don't
look
know.
like you've been working out
I
again.
have
You
been
should
working.
have wore
on-
that King's jersey.
Well, that
Yeah.
might be a next
I
episode.
don't condone this jersey. I had nothing to do with it. I warned him against it. He said,
I
"Oh,
love it.
See, at least you
love
love
the
it. There you
OG.
go. And this is old
At
school
least
jersey.
it's not the STD's jersey.
No, I was going to pull
I'm
out the
trying to
North Stars.
decide,
that would have been
North
which
Star one.
player I need the new jersey in. I love the new retro.
Yeah, the new retros. Are
I think
good.
I'm gonna get a Jamie Benn.
Hey, well, you have to get a Jamie Benn because you know what? It still
I
has
know.
legs. Even if he retires, you still can. Hey,
Yeah.
Jamie Benn. You know, you pull out somebody
Yeah.
new, you go, and they last a year, and you're like, damn it, I just wasted money on that.
They ain't
Right.
cheap either.
No, they're not. No, they're
My
not.
Marchment
No.
jersey is crying
Did you say
in the
Marchment?
back of my closet.
Brian Marchment? Did you just say Brian Marchment?
Yeah.
That is
Mason Marchment.
Jason. Okay.
Mason Marchment.
Mason. Okay. All right. Ooh, I thought you said.
He went to Seattle,
Okay. All right. See, there
broke
you
my
go.
heart.
All right.
but I like Seattle.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're a good team. I like the colors. I like
Just
the
something
colors of
new,
the team.
something fresh.
Yeah, I
The
do.
uniforms are so slick.
Yep. And Utah nailed it too. Utah nailed it with their
Utah's
jerseys.
insane. We were out there. We went to a game. So fun.
Yeah, that owner's really good. I like that guy.
Well, good. It's good to have fresh blood, right?
Yeah,
We
we
don't
go.
want to just be the same old, same old. We want to
go.
keep them honest out there.
Well, Lisa, Kat, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being this front runners on this, and you guys are awesome. Next time I'm down in Dallas, I'm calling you guys up. We're gonna go to Papacitos or something
Yes.
down there. We're gonna have some seafood. Or
Yes.
stuff. I don't eat seafood. We'll go
No,
have
we're
Mexican.
gonna go to Hutchins Barbecue.
Hudson Barbecue. Here we
Hudson.
go. All right, here we go. Well, guys, thank you so much again for everything. Greg, thank you
No,
so
thank
much for what you
you.
do on the Beer League. Take care. Peace.